Hey there, it's Elisa, the Half Asian Tarot Queen, and I'm here with my holiday bling. And I've come home for the holidays, and I've been reunited with my tarot decks. I actually have a pretty good collection of them, so I'm going to start mixing it up. So for the overall energies, I'm going to do the Star Child Tarot. So this is it's pretty metaphysical kind of deck. I really like it. There's another one by the same maker called the Moonchild Tarot, which is a little more grounded. And I want to get that one for myself for Christmas maybe, but we'll see. I'm doing a weekend love reading. There's been a lot of energy around love in the last couple weeks. Things are ramping up for the holidays. But I'm going to start by pulling an overall energy for each of the people in the relationship, and then one for the relationship itself. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, I'm doing 3 totally different decks today, and I'll probably start mixing it up a little bit because now that I've been reunited with my decks. So okay. Interesting. Okay, one more. This is a really great deck, the Star Child deck, and I love the artwork also. Okay. So on the bottom of the deck, we have the 4 of Crystals. So this is kind of, it's a little bit of a resistance, clinging to the past, like just being a little stuck, because like not wanting to let go of the past, and so you know, not really open to the flow of new things coming in. So that kind of goes along with these overall energies. So we have the Knight of Cups. So one person here is kind of offering a cup of love. So the Knight of Cups can be like a Prince Charming character, but just coming in with a message of love. And then on the other side, we have the 4 of Cups. So this is a card of resistance and kind of holding out and not really either holding out for something better, or it could be holding out, or just, you know, you're just not into what they've got to offer, you know, and so you're just kind of resisting the offer. So that's interesting. And then in the middle, we have the 8 of Cups. So this is a card of actually walking away, you know, walking away from something that you've invested a lot of time into, on the road to something better. So that's really interesting because it looks like, you know, somebody might be making an offer of love, but it doesn't look like the other person is accepting it. And we'll see where the general energies go, but it's a little sad for a love story. But I'm going to pull out another deck, which I also love. This is the Mystic Mondays Tarot for the general energies of the reading, but the card on the bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Swords. So yeah, it's not looking like a super lovey-dovey reading that's happening today. But the 5 of Swords is kind of a card of loss. You know, it's just, you know, someone wanting to win at all costs and at the expense of other people. So it's like there's not really any winners. It's sort of like a lose-lose situation. So I don't know. It looks like there might be a love affair that might be kind of like fading away here from what this is looking like so far. But let's pull the general energies and see what we get. I'm going to pull 3 cards for each side of the relationship, and then 3 cards for the relationship itself. Oh my gosh, wow. Okay, this is getting interesting. Oh my gosh, whoa. There's like a lot of actual mirroring that's happening here. Interesting. So just a reminder, all the readings on this channel are timeless. So I kind of try to connect them to, oops, there was an extra one that came out, to storylines and threads, instead of arranging it by zodiac sign or by date. I've been doing love readings on the weekends. That's kind of the pattern that I've established. And then I've just mostly been trying to just kind of observe and be witness to the patterns that just emerge naturally. Okay, so on the bottom here we have the Lovers, which is interesting because this looks like, you know, like a deep connection, but something's not working out, at least not this weekend. It's not coming together. Okay, so on the side, there's a lot of mirroring happening, but we have the Knight of Cups. So this person who's offering the Cup of Love, for the general energies, we get the Eight of Cups again. So this is the walking away from something that's not serving you, on the road to something better. Something that you've invested a lot of time and energy into, but you're moving on from that. And then we have the Four of Pentacles again, you know. So this is just like, you know, you're not quite open to the flow because you're hanging on to something from the past and you're not able to let it go. And this is kind of blocking the new from coming in. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is kind of, you're putting down a foundation, a stable, solid foundation. So it's a little confusing because it's almost like this person is a little confused, you know, because like on one hand, they're putting down a solid foundation. On another hand, they're walking away. And then, you know, on another hand, they're kind of stuck in the past, you know. So it's just like, there's a lot of conflicting energies here. And so it's like, it might be best to like wait for the dust to settle out on this person before accepting a cup. And maybe that's kind of why the person on the other side is sort of resisting it right now, because they maybe see that. This person, it looks like they want to build a stable foundation for something, but, you know, they're walking away and clinging to the past at the same time. So that's really interesting because this person might be involved in multiple relationships and they're maybe walking away from one of them to go back to someone from the past. That could be going on. Or they might just be really confused, you know. But this level of confusion would indicate that there's a big change happening because there's obviously a lot of flux. That's, you know, the case right now. So let's look at the other person and see if we can get some more insight into what's going on. So this is the person who's kind of resisting, or they're not really accepting the cup right now. They're just, one second. Okay, sorry, a little interruption. I'm visiting the fam for the holidays right now, so yeah, there's a lot more hustle and bustle. Okay, so this person is resisting the Cup of Love. And, but what's interesting is that they have the Princess of Cups and they have the Giving and Receiving card, the Six of Pentacles. So it's it's like this person has love for the, other person. And, maybe they're looking for some sort of rebalance to happen in the giving and receiving department. Maybe they're holding back because they see that this other person is confused, and they don't want to get entangled in the confusion. But they clearly have some love for the other person. And then there was an extra card that popped out because we had the Sun card, which is the best card in the deck. Happiness, abundance, fertility, all these good things. And that came out with the Six of Swords, which is like moving on from a bad situation towards a better situation. So this is really, really interesting. I mean, it looks like a pretty complicated situation that's obviously in flux, and there's conflicting feelings happening, and it's not really clear what's going on here. So then when I pulled the energies of a relationship, so it's like both of the people in this relationship have this Eight of Cups energy, of walking away. And underneath that we have the Ten of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. So that's interesting because this is kind of like an end to suffering that's happening. This is just loss, a harsh loss. And then we have this King of Pentacles energy, which, this can be the patriarch of a family unit, but, a stable, grounded king who's very financially solid, and this energy has been coming up a lot in storylines on the channel in a thread called Phoenix, because there was this downtrodden King of Pentacles who needed to right some wrong in order to offer his love to his counterpart, and this was going to elevate him to an emperor status. It was going to elevate both parties. And then there's like a message coming in. So this is really actually pretty confusing. I mean, it looks like a mess, really. So I don't know if this person, this Don Juan Prince Charming person, has like maybe multiple parties going on, and that's part of this mess, and this person is just kind of sees the mess and is just kind of trying to steer clear and let the dust settle from that. But whatever this mess is, both parties are walking away from it because they're ready to, end the suffering. And there's a message coming in. So it's interesting because this King of Pentacles that's been a recurring theme on the channel in the Phoenix and Dynasty threads, the thing that was going to elevate him, and restore order in his life was that he was going to have to, there was a message of love that he needed to deliver to his counterpart, and that was going to right things. But it looks like this person who's kind of holding back, they seem to be, kind of moving forward in a dedicated way, and they're obviously moving forward from some bad situation towards something really good, So yeah, it looks like there's a lot of flux going on. I'm going to pull one card of guidance for each person in the relationship and for the relationship itself, going back to the Star Child Tarot, and see if we can get any more clarity about what the hell's going on here, because this looks like kind of a mess, really. Okay, interesting. That makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, it looks like oops, there was two that flopped out with this person. This person keeps getting two that plopped out. Oh, interesting. Okay, one more card for the overall energies of the relationship, or guidance for the relationship. Okay, that makes sense actually. All right, we have this Five of Cups on the bottom, and that's really interesting because this is an energy that's been coming up a ton lately. Ever since the new moon in Sagittarius reading, which I will link, but it's all about this energy that needs to be healed to bring this love into fruition. So what's interesting is over this person, this Don Juan, Prince Charming guy, who seems to maybe have some multiple love situations going on, but wants to have a foundation that's solid. Well, this person is in the Nine of Swords energy. So this person is like riddled with anxiety and doesn't really know what to do, and they're obviously confused, and they've obviously bitten off more than they can chew, you know? So that makes a lot of sense, actually. Then this person who's kind of stepping back and like not really engaging because they kind of see that it's a mess and it's probably best to steer clear. This person has the Queen of Pentacles, which, you know, this is the divine counterpart that has the message coming to them. You know, if you're following the thread on Phoenix, like, this wrong needs to be righted, which is he needs to offer his love to this counterpart, you know, and that's what's gonna restore order, you know, in the kingdom. So, and then this energy has also been orbiting around the Divine Feminine readings. So I'm going to put a link to the Divine Feminine thread because this character has been coming up a lot. And then this person also has the Strength card. So, I mean, based on the energies of, you know, this person, you know, they've got, you know, balance, they've got love to offer, and they're moving on, you know, from this situation to a better situation. Like, there's good coming in for this person. So this person looks like wise. Like, they kind of know what this, you know, what this person is up to. They obviously have a lot of awareness about the situation. It's funny because, you know, just in my own life, there's this situation with this person who very much reflects this energy in my own life, and I was having an issue that I was resolving with respect to that person, and you know, I was talking to one of their friends, you know, because we were kind of taking care of something for them, and you know, I was like, yeah, you know, he dumped me like years ago, and his friend was like, well, you know, that might not have been such a bad thing. Like, I love him, but, you know, like, you know, I wouldn't want to date him, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, he's totally lovable, he's just not dateable, you know, and that's kind of what this person looks like, you know. They're really charming, but they're kind of a mess, you know. And it's like, but really what they want is they want a stable foundation in life. It just seems like they don't really know how to make that happen. Whereas this person actually does know, and that's kind of why they're not engaging. They're just sort of hanging back and working on building stability on their own, and just kind of being maybe a lighthouse for the other person. And then for the guidance for the energy, we have the Four of Swords, which is a card of reflection. So yeah, it looks like this weekend is probably not the time to engage this situation, because yeah, it doesn't look like things are in alignment at this moment in time. So the guidance would be to just like hang back. So then for overall energies of the reading, I'm going to go to the Gateway Oracle cards. I love this deck. And I think that it's a good deck for this moment, because we just had the full moon in Gemini, and that was supposed to be, you know, like a gateway moment. And it's interesting because I had this moment with my friend Angie, who I've talked about a bunch, my bandmate from the White Pubes, you know, where we were walking, and the full moon was out, and the clouds kind of parted, like right around the moon. And it happened, you know, twice. And then last night I did like this 12-hour drive. I went to go visit my family, and I got out of the car, and I looked up, and the clouds, you know, were parted right around the moon. It was just like this portal, you know, with the light from the moon just like coming through. So anyways, that's my whole diatribe about why I chose this deck. So, all right. So we got 3 cards. Making a difference. My inner light shines far and wide. So it's kind of like the story of the starfish, where, you know, like there's all these starfish, and they're beached on the shore, and there's like, you know, thousands of them, and there's this one guy, and he's coming and he's throwing these starfish back in the ocean, and someone comes up to them and they're like, you know, why are you doing this? You know, like, this is kind of hopeless. Like, there's thousands of, you're never going to be able to get them all, you know. And it's like, what difference does it make? And the guy was like, well, it makes a difference to this fish, you know. So that's interesting, because it's almost like this person who kind of knows better, you know, sees that this is kind of a hopeless situation, that maybe they shouldn't engage. Or the wise person would maybe just not engage. But maybe they see some sort of potential in this person, like they see that this person wants this and doesn't really know how to achieve it. And so maybe they've resigned themselves to making a difference to this one fish, you know. But it seems like this person has, you know, a lot of wisdom and strength. So maybe they will, you know, they're kind of on the road to this. So we'll see how this unfolds. We'll keep checking in with the storyline. Then for this person, the mess person, we have starting fresh. A wonderful new beginning is blossoming in my life. So, you know, maybe part of this chaos and mess that's going on is, you know, they're walking away from something that wasn't serving them. And it's a mess right now, but ultimately, this is going to give them a fresh start, which is maybe what they need. And then, as far as the relationship goes, we got launching into your journey. I'm an intrepid traveler setting forth into the universe. Look, there's a magical kingdom in the background, and we're, you know. So that kind of goes along with this, like moving on from a bad situation, you know, like we're moving on to a better situation. So maybe the advice for these people right now is to just go forward, you know. Don't be stuck in the situation as it is now, but just, and not really moving towards each other, but maybe they're each both moving forward in a positive way. And that's the guidance. So hopefully that's a little helpful. This is a, you know, pretty messy reading, but, you know, sometimes big changes require you to walk through some big messes. So I wish you luck with that, and hopefully this is a little helpful, and we'll check back with you tomorrow.